Did you ever drop the pipe?
Probably.
Did you hand it off to Ryan?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. So when you say that you must have flipped out, then maybe you flipped out and hit this guy more than once.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that this guy got hit with once. And I'm not barking at you. I'm just telling you the truth because I saw the picture.
It's just I don't.
You got the crime stopper?
I know. That's okay. Fine. And I know, and I told you that already.
Okay. I understand, but I'm just reminding you where we were at.
Yeah. I don't.
Because what's going to happen, eventually I'm sure the crime stopper will come forward now that they know that all this is coming to a head.
That's fine.
And I got to impress this upon you one more time. And this is the last time I'm going to tell you this, Chuck, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Ryan's going to talk. Don't let Ryan tell a story for you.
I don't know what else to do because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to put it on me. I don't really
Probably.
care. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, I must have just...
You know you're involved and you're ready to take that hit, basically.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You want me to light that for you before I go, or?
I've got a lighter.
In your pocket?
Yeah.
Well, don't be burning nothing in the wall, man.
No, I'm not going to.
Here, why don't you give me your lighter? You're not supposed to have that up here.
No, actually I don't.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I have keychain.
Chase, what do you got? So there's not a lot wrong technically here in this video. He's not really directing him how, to answer the questions. He's using a very common statement of don't let XYZ tell the story for you. That's a common thing. But the one thing we aren't seeing here is the search for truth. The questions are closed-ended, which when you're asking somebody about an evening 2 years ago, as I understand this was, it can be very difficult to obtain some kind of truth with a lot of closed-ended questions. So it seems like the detective is after a confession of possibility, a confession of possibility. So Mark talks about this all the time, possibility versus probability with that thought experiment there. And is it possible you did this? And then it feels good enough for him to move to the next question. Is it possible you did this? And he kind of just lets that hang. And in this instance, I think it seems there are some parts he might genuinely have trouble remembering. I think that's genuine. And there's something called a behavioral interview that might be beneficial here in a situation like that, where they use different techniques and questioning to ascertain a lot more details about stuff like that. Very common in more traumatic situations to help somebody recall an event or a detail. They even use hypnosis in some of these cases, which you can't elicit a confession, but you can elicit details to help you obtain evidence with hypnosis. And there's, varies by state. But that's all I got. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I think the interviewer here now is getting very insecure about the way that this is going. The hat comes off his head. He goes in what I would call third circle, in that he locks all his joints and puts his hat back on. That's extreme for this situation. Why have we got this interviewer who should be professional, calm, engaged? He could be trying to play the part of somebody insecure and moving towards getting extremely agitated. And we'll see where he goes in a few videos' time. But already for me, he's ramping up in not being able to control his own energy here, which suggests if he's in a professional situation, he's probably not following a sense of procedure for himself where he can feel grounded. He can feel like he knows where this is going. It may not be moving where he wants it to go fast enough, or he may not feel that he is in control of the procedure and therefore it's going to run away from him, just like his hat seems to escape him and then go back on. Also an example, Chase, I think, of extreme venting going on there, where you're, releasing the heat from your head. If he was calm and assertive in this situation, I don't think he'd be doing that. So he's probably at the opposite end of calm and assertive right now, which is not where you want somebody who has potentially, 10, 15, 20 years of your life in their hands at this moment. Scott, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's probably excited right now because he thinks, I got this one. We're going to wrap this up. Look what I've done. Look what's going on. That's what I think is happening. And he says, maybe you flipped out and hit this guy more than once. And then Chuck agrees with him. He's feeding him the scenario piece by piece. He's feeding him the answers he wants to hear. And he never says, and he could have here too, tell me what happened. Because he already said, I don't remember what happened. But he doesn't go back and like I said, come from a different angle and say, let's go through what happened the last hour before you were there, or the last 2 hours before you showed up there. Where were you at that point? Never does that. In the last interaction, the detective's cadence goes through the roof. And he does that as he's dropping that idea of Ryan making a deal to screw Chuck over. So it's placed in his mind real solid. So he gets that, and that's it. That's what. There's nothing wrong with that. Making them think somebody's is already talking or is going to talk to give them that idea to get them talking. Nothing wrong with that. That's something you'll do. That's quite common. Nothing wrong with it. But that's what he's doing there. And for the other stuff, it's so obvious that nobody was observing what was happening. And if they did, I wouldn't be saying I did at this point, because they would have seen that and gone, dude, wait just a minute. Hang on a minute. This isn't right. Something's not wrong. Somebody would have said to somebody up higher, they would have left the room and said, he's doing this wrong. This kid, well, I'm going to get too deep into I love the police. I just think these guys are doing it wrong. Greg, what do you got?
So let's talk for just a minute about interrogation. First of all, I want to go back to something you said last time. When a guy is always agreeing with you, the approach you take is, okay, I've said enough. Why don't we just tell me what you do remember? Just stop. Mm-hmm. Let him talk. And where he says, I don't remember, okay, then you might poke and prod a little bit, but you let him talk. That way you know you're not feeding them. And most of the time when a person is feeding someone information under duress, this guy didn't wake up in the morning looking over his Cheerios and say, I'm going to put this kid in jail for the rest of his life. I don't care if he did it. That's not how it works most of the time. It's simply ineptitude at understanding human psyche, how things work, and how people get under duress. That's number one. Number two, my world interrogation. I know more about you than you know about you most of the time. Once I get to the point I'm ready to go to close something, because we've got situation maps. Once I determine who you are, let's take a war. A war is a beautiful thing from an interrogation point of view, because we have a situation map. I walk in, I look at that, assuming I'm in a cage, and I know everything that happened around the place you were captured for the past 48 hours. So I know how you ended up where you were when you were captured. When I'm trying to get you to talk, I'm not going to tell you what I know. I'm going to talk to you, ask you questions until you do something that tells me where you were exactly on that map. So then I can try to tie you to a situation. Lots of Middle Eastern wars, it's not all above board army against army. There's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. And often you'll have guys committing IEDs, doing all that kind of stuff, planting IEDs. So those kind of people are not wearing uniforms and they're not captured that way. What we do is we have to have all that information in our head, and we're asking you questions, not to link you to it, but to see where you were and how you were tied in. Chase, I'm sure in your time, if you did a lot of ground operation, I know the Navy did a fair amount of ground operation in Afghanistan, for example, then we sweep and we bring in a lot of people, and we're trying to find the person. And you have to be careful not to tell them what you know and to feed them. What we're not seeing is that here. If you really want to know, pay attention to this entire video that's about to come up next, and we're replaying it, and watch what happens when the guy is asked any open-ended question. How does he answer? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not sure. When he's asked any question that's not open-ended, yes or no, leading questions, he goes yes or no. That's it. He doesn't say, I'm not sure. So he's looking for guidance. He's looking, Chase, you talked about it earlier. This guy's 19 years old, probably, maybe 18, don't know. Maybe 20, because it was 2 years after they were in high school, my understanding. There's deference to power in those cases, and you're in captivity. And we all know that people defer to their captor until they get to be part of that system, and they are well-versed in that system. Then they'll flip you off in an interrogation room in a minute. But when they're brand new to the system, first time they've been in any kind of trouble, they're more deferential to power than usual. Listen to those two things. No open-ended answers, and yeses and nos every time there's a projected question.
One of those tape replays.
Did you ever drop the pipe?
Probably.
Did you hand it off to Ryan?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. So when you say that you must have flipped out, then maybe you flipped out and hit this guy more than once.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that this guy got hit with once. And I'm not barking at you. I'm just telling you the truth because I saw
I
the picture.
know. It's just I don't.
You got the Crime Stopper?
I know. That's
Okay.
fine, and I know, and I told you that already.
Okay, I understand, but I'm just reminding you where we were at.
Yeah. I don't.
Because what's going to happen eventually, I'm sure the Crime Stopper will come forward now that they know that all this is coming to a head.
That's fine.
And I got to impress this upon you one more time, and this is the last time I'm going to tell you this, Chuck, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Ryan's going to talk. Don't let Ryan tell a story for you.
I don't know what else to do because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to put it on me. I don't really
Probably.
care. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, I must have just...
You know you're involved and you're ready to take that hit, basically.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You want to leave that? You want me to light that for you before I go, or
I've got a lighter.
in your pocket?
Yeah.
Well, don't be burning nothing in the wall, man.
No, I'm not going to.
Here, why don't you give me your lighter? You're not supposed to have that up here.
No, actually I don't.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I have a keychain.
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.